This is Oshkosh Today, your connection to events and organizations in the Oshkosh area. Oshkosh Today is supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for Oshkosh Today. I'm your host, Emily Mikowski, and we have another wonderful episode lined up for you today. You might have noticed we have some decorations around our set today, and we've decked out the studio to celebrate our 400th episode of Oshkosh Today. So it's really an exciting day for Oshkosh Community Media Services, and Oshkosh Today has been a huge part of the community for so many years, and it's really something to celebrate. So with that said, we've got a really exciting show lined up for you today, so let's take a little preview of what's to come for number 400. First up, we've got Nick Osowski here, our third Friends of OCM Student Athlete of the Year Scholarship finalist. We'll chat with him about what experiences led him to where he is today and why he deserves to win this scholarship. After that, we'll travel to the Oshkosh Area Humane Society for a behind-the-scenes tour. And let me tell you, it was crawling with kitties, so you will not want to miss it. We'll come back to the studio and hear about the popular Shamrock Shuffle put on by UW Oshkosh that's coming up. And after that, we had the Winnebagoland Barber Shoppers in the studio earlier this week, and they'll show you how to make Valentine's Day extra special with their Singing Valentines. We'll toss it over to Ted Stefaniak for a dose of Focus on Health with Aurora, and then we'll wrap it up in the WOCT 101.9 FM studio to tell you about a huge step that we've taken here that we've recently made at WOCT. So let's go ahead and get to it, the 400th episode of Oshkosh Today. Joining us now is our Student Athlete of the Year Scholarship finalist, Nick Osowski from Oshkosh West, and Nate Zemke, his assistant wrestling coach. Thanks for joining us today, gentlemen.
Yeah, no problem.
So first off, Nick, you're a varsity wrestler. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been wrestling for?
I've been wrestling since I was 4. I was just a little kid. I got started. One of my sister's friends had a little brother that wrestled, so I went and joined and fell in love with it and been doing it ever since.
And something that really stood out to us in your application for the scholarship was your essay. And you've kind of told us how some days you don't even see the light of day because you're so busy with practice and school and everything. Can you tell us a little bit about that, how you juggle all of that?
It's definitely not easy, but I guess I don't really know any other way. It's always been go to school, go to wrestling, go home and just work on everything else that I need to accomplish with all my classes and sometimes extra workouts for wrestling. And it's been a fun 4 years, but I do admit that there are those days where you go to school early for a practice and you leave late after a practice and you kind of think like, oh, I wonder if it was sunny today, and
right.
You just never see outside.
Especially during these winter months when the sun's hardly out at all as it is.
Yeah, that's the trouble of having an indoor sport in the winter.
Right. And Coach Zemke, how long have you been working with Nick?
2 years now.
All right, so, I mean, what can you tell us about him as a wrestler and an athlete?
Well, he has a very good work ethic. He's usually one of the first kids in the rooms, and I don't know, he brings it every day.
So, Nick, you're not only a wrestler, you're also a very hardworking student. You've done a lot of other things as far as volunteering in different clubs. And another thing that you mentioned in your essay was you want to push people away from thinking of athletes as the stereotypical, dumb jock. So, what can you tell us? What have you done to try and break that mold?
I guess I wouldn't really classify myself as a stereotypical athlete. I mean, my whole life I've loved just history, and I've been a vegetarian my whole life. I haven't really, I guess, fit the meathead mold. I've wanted to volunteer and give back to the community as well as the sport that I'm in. I just like giving back.
Mm-hmm. And can you vouch for that, Coach? I mean, I know
definitely.
not only are you a wrestler, but you're also a coach, and he coaches with the youth practices as well. Is that right?
Yeah. I was in the program that I help with now for must be 10 years. So I got out of it and kind of got sucked back in with the little kids. And I mean, just there's a couple youth programs that that I like to work with. I don't know, the little kids remind me of all the little kids that I worked with and who I was, and just it's just such an awesome sport, and I've loved it forever. So I figure if I can instill that in people, like the coaches that I've had have instilled it in me, then people can enjoy the sport as I have.
So, what are some of the reactions that you get out of these little kids when you walk into practice? They probably look at you like you're some kind of a celebrity.
It's great. Probably the best one is our head coach's son, Trey. He's 5 now, and he just loves West as a team. He wrestles, and he just loves the team in general, and he's always at the dual meets, and he's coming and sitting by us, and he just comes up to practice to watch us, and he talks to us about wrestling, and he wants to know everything. So just watching just him is just amazing.
Right, and what better way to coach these kids? I mean, you've been there, you've been in their shoes, so you know exactly what it's like to be them right now.
Yeah, I remember all the high schoolers when I was little that just came in, and we just adored them, and they were superheroes to us. So if me just showing up can provide that for some kid, then that's obviously going to be what happens. Right.
And outside of wrestling and school, you're a part of some different other activities. If you want to briefly tell us about some other clubs that you're in.
I do a youth mentoring program through my church, and it's just like a coming of age confirmation type thing that I did last year to help. It was younger teens, slightly younger than myself, in a program that I went through 2 years before that, and just helping them like find who they were and what they wanted to do with their lives. And I mean, being just slightly more well-adjusted, our title was the people that they could talk to about the more teen problems that were the same, and
just kind of being there for them.
Yeah, I have before, and after the wrestling season plan too. I also volunteer with the special ed program. That's my projected major is special education.
Excellent.
So just working with special needs students has been really rewarding.
So you're a busy guy.
Yes.
All of this, and you also work part-time, is that right?
I did. I couldn't really hold it during the season. I worked at my mom's law office and just was scanning files and stuff. And then before that, I worked at a candle store. Wow.
So, I mean, experience all across the board, I mean, as far as multitasking goes and everything. And we just want to congratulate you on being one of the 6 finalists for the Student Athlete Scholarship. And we actually have this little certificate here that we'd like to present to you.
Thank you.
For being one of those 6 chosen people out of all the applicants. And good luck to you, I mean, after high school and moving on towards college and everything.
Yeah, thanks.
So thank you both for coming in today.
Yeah, not a problem.
Coming up next on Oshkosh Today, if this bitter cold has been getting you down, what better way to lift your spirits than a bunch of happy, furry friends? I was able to go visit the Oshkosh Area Humane Society last week, and we'll give you a little behind-the-scenes tour of the Humane Society.
Puzzle. And piece by piece, the women and men of Rotary have worked hard to fight hunger, promote literacy, and move the world toward peace. But there is still much to be done, still some missing pieces. And one of those missing pieces is you. Learn how you can help Rotary put together a better world at Rotary.org. Rotary, humanity in motion.
To be a Wisconsin winter warrior, you must do more than conquer the cold. You must have courage, teamwork, but above all else, a warm heart to be freezing for a reason. Join us for the Polar Plunge. Sign up today at SpecialOlympicsWisconsin.org.
Hello everyone, and thank you again for joining us on Oshkosh Today. And now I am at the Oshkosh Area Humane Society here with Cheryl Rosenthal. Thank you for joining us,
Thank you
Cheryl.
for having me.
Having us out here. So first off, where exactly are we? What's the address of the Oshkosh Area
We're
Humane
located
Society?
at 1925 Shelter Court. We're very easy to find. If you know where Bowen Street is, Bowen Street to Doctors Court, turn on Doctors Court, and then turn on Shelter Court. So 1925 Shelter Court, big brick building, green roof, can't miss us.
So what are your hours here too? When can people come and visit?
Oh, that's a great question. Our hours, we are closed on Sundays and Mondays. Now Mondays we are here, but that's kind of our catch-up day, getting vet appointments, checking in animals, reuniting animals with their families if we've gotten a call. But we're open Tuesdays and Wednesdays from noon until 6, Thursdays and Fridays 2 until 8, and then on Saturdays we're always open from 10 until 3. So those evening hours on Thursday and Friday we hope is a good time for families to come in if they're planning on adding a pet to their family.
Great, and now while we're here today, we kind of want to get an idea of what makes up the Oshkosh Area Humane Society. So first of all, we're in a room full of kitties. What exactly
Yes, we are.
What is this room we're in
the
right now?
Oshkosh Area Humane Society, most shelters see more cats than they do dogs, and we are no different than any other shelter. We see 4 times as many cats as we do dogs, and for that reason we have 7 cat rooms, and we are standing in gallery number 5, and gallery number 5 are our senior cats that are available for adoption. These cats can range anywhere from 9 years of age up to 18 years of age, and this is where these cats will stay, Emily, until they're adopted. Adopters can come in here and sit with the cats, and maybe sometimes the cat will choose them to be adopted. So it's one of the nice rooms to sit and get acquainted with the animals, and you can do that in 6 other rooms. If you're not looking for a senior, we have some teenage kitties, we have some young adults, we also have the kitten room. So there's a variety of rooms that people can visit in.
Kitties of all ages.
Kitties of all ages, and because of that, we pride ourselves, we have our Meet Your Match program where we want people to find the match that's right for their family and for any pets that they have at home. And I see somebody's already chosen you.
I think this one chose me.
I think you've been chosen.
So thank you for letting us come here, and I think we're ready to take a look and see what else we can find
Let's
here.
go to a different area and see what's there.
Great. So now we are in the spay and neuter room, or the surgery room.
We're in the surgery room. We're
Okay.
in the surgery room. We do a lot of surgeries here every year. It saves the shelter a lot of money by being able to do spays and neuters right here on site. We have veterinarians that come in and do our spays and neuter for us. We have, I believe it's 2 part-time veterinarians on staff now. They come once a week, and all of our animals are spayed and neutered before they go up on the adoption floor or before they go to new homes. We feel that that's really important, that we're not adding to the pet overpopulation problem. I think it's also important to know while we're standing in this room, animals, 9 out of 10 animals that come to us, Emily, need some type of medical care. And sometimes they need something more than just being treated for ear mites or skin condition or something of that nature. Sometimes they need a knee repairment, or maybe we'll have a pet with a broken leg that comes in. So those are things that we feel are treatable, and we need to be responsible for having that done. Every animal that comes into the shelter, whether it be a stray or an owner's surrender, the first thing we do when that animal comes in, they go into our exam room and they are given a full medical exam. They're also given a Bordetella. Dogs are given a Bordetella vaccination, which is for kennel cough, because we want to help everyone remain healthy. Dogs are always tested for heartworm, and if they have heartworm, they are treated to the best of our ability. And then also cats are tested. They're given a full medical exam as well, and they're tested for feline leukemia and also receive vaccinations. And of course, if somebody comes in and they're badly matted or they're really dirty, of course we're going to do a grooming on those animals too. So there's a lot of medical treatment that goes on here at the Humane Society, and therefore our medical expenses are always increasing. Right now our medical budget is about $80,000 a year, which is very high, and we don't see it getting smaller. And there's always more that we would like to do for the animals, things that we would like to be able to treat them for, and to make sure, our goal is to make sure that every animal that leaves here is in the best of health that we can provide.
So I guess that's a good segue into how can people donate and help out. I mean, a lot of people, when they donate or think of donating to the Humane Society, they really only think of blankets and pillows and food and that kind of thing, when really this is a huge chunk of what you need.
There is so much. I wish I could get everybody to come in and take a tour so that they could see all the things that we do. Our operating expenses are $900,000 a year. 80,000 of that I mentioned go to medical. We have a lot of overhead with staffing, and it's important for people to remember that staff is a very important part of our organization because we're here 365 days a year and on call 24 hours a day. So if somebody wants to donate and support the work that we do, any monetary donation is greatly appreciated. But money is very helpful because you can designate whether you want that to go, maybe you want it to go to our spay-neuter program, maybe you want it to go for vaccinations, maybe you would like it to go for, maybe you would like to sponsor an adoption fee, or you would like to sponsor a scratching post for one of the cats here in our building. So all monetary donations are greatly appreciated, and we rely very heavily on the community for their support because we cannot do what we do for the animals without the community's support.
So how can people donate? Where can they go if they do
They
want to
can
do
go
that?
to our website, www.oahs, and they can choose from any of the ongoing campaigns that we have listed on our website, anywhere from a general donation to our Humane Heroes. Humane Heroes is where you make a pledge to give $25 a month. That makes you a humane hero, and you will have your name displayed on one of our galleries or one of our dog kennels, whichever you choose. There's other campaigns, the spay-neuter campaigns, so they can choose any of those campaigns. They can pop it in the mail and send it to 1925 Shelter Court, or if they'd like to, they can come on down and meet us in person and make that donation and maybe walk through and figure out where they would like their donation to go, or they can just give it to general funds.
Excellent. So thank you for taking us back here and showing us a little bit more behind the scenes of what a lot of people don't see. So
Awesome.
Let's take a look and see what we can find next.
Okay.
So Cheryl, do you want to tell us a little bit about this room? This is the night drop room.
This is the night drop. We're on call 24/7, and let's say on weekends, the police department finds a dog, or they get a call that somebody has found a stray cat. Rather than coming into the building and disturbing all the other animals, they come in the back door, and if it's a cat, they're going to come in this room and put it in one of the stainless steel cages. If it's a dog, they're going to put it in the small room next door to us that has two kennel enclosures. Then what our staff does, Emily, when we come in to work, the first thing we do is we check the paperwork on those animals and check them in, make sure that there isn't a lost report. We're always hoping that there's a lost report so that we can reunite that animal with its owner. If not, we take its picture and we give it a complete physical exam and check that animal in, hoping that within the 7 days required for holding of stray animals, that owner will step forward and come in and reclaim their owner. It's in this area also, Emily, that we do our owner surrenders. If someone no longer can care for their pet, we like to get a full history of that animal. And so if people, for whatever reason, they're moving, they've lost their job, they can't afford their pet anymore, we want them to bring it to us, and we want to take a full history from them. Is it good with other animals? Is it good with children? Does it have any special likes or dislikes? We want to get to know that animal through the owner's eyes, and that makes it easier for us to adopt that animal. And because that's a very emotional time, we want to have it in a private area where they feel comfortable giving us that information, and if, you know, like I said, it's very emotional that they're in a private area where they can feel a little bit more comfortable. This is also where people would come if your pet ends up here at the shelter as a stray. This is where we get, you know, you can come and reclaim your animal. So it's different from the adoption end of our business, but it's a very important part of what we do. Our whole goal is to reunite people with their lost animals whenever possible. And so it's nice to have the night drop area.
So can anyone drop off pets, or is there any kind of rules and regulations for that?
You need, in order to do an owner surrender, you must be a resident of Oshkosh, and that we do ask that people call and make an appointment for any surrenders. If you live outside of the Oshkosh area and want to bring an animal here, there is a charge, simply because we want people to utilize the shelters in their area, and we can't be taking in, everybody's pets.
Right.
But if they call, ask to talk with someone in our caregiving department, and they'll be able to give them all the information and direct them to the correct spot or set up an appointment for them. Setting up appointments is important because if we have animals coming in at unannounced times, we may be in the middle of surgeries or having other animals that we're working with, and we want to focus on that person when they bring their pet in, and give them, good customer service. And the best way to do that is to ask for an appointment.
Excellent. Do you find a lot of people utilizing this?
Yes, a lot of people do. When I started here at the shelter, the ratio of strays versus owner surrenders were probably between 60-30 and then 60-40, and now it's about 50-50, with owner surrenders a little bit on the rise, which to me tells me that our economy is not recovering the way that we had hoped, and or that more people are utilizing the service and bringing their pets here when they can no longer keep them.
Which I think is excellent that people can do
we
that.
would much rather have somebody, what people need to understand is when you bring us your pet, and you give us a full history, that makes it easier for us to adopt that animal out into a new home, and it gives the animal an opportunity. There is some time for the animal to settle here into the shelter, but with our staff and with our volunteers, the attention the animals get, it's really no different sometimes than going to a nice boarding facility. And once they get used to the routine and find out, this isn't such a bad place, the animals do adapt very well, and we're able to find them new homes.
Excellent. Well, thank you for showing us this little room, and I think we've got a couple other places that we can check out yet.
Let's go check them out.
All right. So now we are in the volunteer room here at the Oshkosh Area Humane Society, and what can you tell us about volunteering here?
Well, we always need volunteers. That's the most important thing for people to know. We are always looking for volunteers. To be a volunteer, you need to be 16 years of age or older. You need to commit to at least 6 hours of volunteer time a month, which once you get here, 6 hours is nothing. It really is. We do ask people to go through our volunteer orientation, which is held the third Thursday of the month. Again, visit our website for the time and the date of the orientations. After orientation or during orientation, that is when you're going to decide whether you want to work with cats or dogs. And if you want to work with dogs, you're going to sign up for a training on that following Saturday to learn more about dogs. If you're going to work with cats, you'll be coming to another classroom and hands-on session the following Thursday. And the reason we do that, Emily, is so that people get familiar with where everything is in the building and what's expected of them. You can work with both cats and dogs, but we always recommend work with one first. Get your feet wet just working with one. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to do two. Carrie also does a small mammal orientation, so if somebody's interested in working with small mammals, we do have other animals here besides cats and dogs, so if you're interested in working with rabbits or guinea pigs, gerbils, hamsters, those types of small little animals, we usually have those here that need some socialization also. And that's primarily what our volunteers do, is they come and they sit with the cats, they brush them. We do ask for help. They're helping the staff by keeping the rooms clean, maybe doing a little litter box scooping. Dog walking is a very important part of the program, getting those animals out, exercised every day, spend some playtime with them. We have a read and relax with the dogs where you can sit in their kennel and read, and helps the dog just relax with a person being with them, so that they learn that you don't have to be on the go all the time. So, we have some outreach programs that we ask volunteers to help us with, setting up fundraisers, doing some of those things. So there's a lot of things that volunteers can do for us. So, and it's very important that our volunteers feel comfortable. They're such a great help to us. So we have our volunteer room, and our staff also uses this room. We have a vending machine for soda so they can bring their lunch and have a quiet lunch and put their time in and volunteer for the shelter and help the animals and enrich their lives while they're here at the Humane Society. This is part of volunteering is also being foster homes, and we're always in need of foster homes. Foster homes are used primarily for cats and kittens, but again, if anyone is interested in that information, visit our website, www.oahs.org, and click on volunteer opportunities, and there's a whole list of things that people can do to help us.
Excellent. How many volunteers do you have right now currently?
Right now, we probably have between about 300 active volunteers, and we can always use more. We handle between 23 and 2,500 animals a year, so that's a lot of dogs that need to be walked and a lot of kitties that need socialization. And people like to go on vacation or take a break sometimes from the shelter, so we need volunteers to kind of fill those spaces. So you never have enough volunteers.
Yes, I mean, I think you could probably say that a lot of what happens around here, you really depend on the volunteers.
Yes, we really do. We really do.
Excellent. And again, to learn more or to want to go volunteer, it's oahs.org.
Correct.
Excellent. Well, I think we have one more spot to see, so if we want to go check that out.
All right, let's go visit the small mammals.
Excellent. All right, Cheryl, so now we are in the small mammal room. You do offer small mammals for adoption as well.
Yes, we see a lot of small mammals coming into the shelter, a lot of times for the same reasons we see cats and dogs. People no longer can take care of them, or they're moving, or there's some concern, that they have to bring the animal here. So we see a lot of rabbits, and we also see guinea pigs and hamsters and gerbils, and sometimes even little mice. And
came out to say
here's
hi.
Princess. She's going to say hi. She is very social, and that is another area for volunteers. And we pride ourselves that we are a great resource for information about how to care for small mammals. A lot of times people don't understand. For example, rabbits need as much exercise as a cat or a dog, and they need a special diet. They don't eat just rabbit pellets. They need fresh greens and an overabundance of timothy hay. That's their primary diet. So even if you're not looking for a small mammal, please use the Oshkosh Area Humane Society as a resource center for information on how best to care for your small mammals, because we want them to live long and healthy lives. So, so we do have some of these animals. So again, we hope that before you go to the pet store to get that guinea pig or that gerbil or that rabbit, stop in at your local shelter here at the Oshkosh Area Humane Society, or check out our website and see if we have any small mammals available, and maybe we'll have somebody who's just right for you.
And really, I think what you said there, the education is huge on just,
it really is.
Informing people how much work they are.
They are a lot of work, and sometimes, like gerbils make good first-time pets, and so do mice. I know a lot of people go, oh, mice. And rats also, we do get rats in. And they are highly intelligent creatures, and they need socialization and handling, and people need to be aware of that before they bring those animals into their home. And also to realize, for rabbits, for example, live between 8 and 12 years, and guinea pigs can live 8 to 10 years.
Oh, really?
So you're making, this should be a lifetime commitment. And if you're not able to do that, then maybe, getting a small mammal isn't the right choice for you.
And do you find that that's a reason that a lot of people take their small mammals here, is they don't realize the responsibility or the amount of time?
They don't realize how much work they are and how much time it takes, and to give them the exercise that they need. Rabbits, we've had rabbits here at the shelter that interact with cats. They've lived with dogs. I would highly recommend anybody interested in seeing some of the results of our adoptions visit our success stories on our website. And we've got some really cute pictures of some of the rabbits that we've adopted out that are snuggling with cats and dogs and really being part of the family. And that's what we feel animals should be. Our pets should be part of the family.
And I know you're always posting cute pictures, not only of the small mammals, but of the cats and dogs, and
yes,
especially on your Facebook page. So I don't know, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that too.
Awesome. Yes, we have a fun Facebook page, and we were so excited. Christmas of 2013, we reached our 5,000 likes, so we were really excited about that. And we feel that that's just a great way to share the success stories that we have, to share animals that are available for adoption, and hopefully to tell people, this is how you can help us. These are things that we need. with the cold snap and weather, we put out a plea for blankets, and believe me, we got more blankets than we could use. And so it's wonderful
Great outreach.
to have that as a social media that we can use to help promote the animals and information about them.
Excellent. Well, thanks for showing us this little room with all the small mammals. They're all so cute, and
Aren't they?
I mean, throughout this whole visit, I kind of felt like I can't leave empty-handed here. So
Well, we'll be more than put one in. We'll put one or two in your purse.
yes. So we'll get out of this room before I make any big decisions here. Well, thank you so much again, Cheryl, for letting us come in and giving us a little tour of the Humane Society here in Oshkosh. And again, you said that you can always go to Oshkosh Area Humane Society, or it's oahs.org.
Yes.
To learn more about the Oshkosh Area Humane Society, as well as their Facebook page, where they're always posting cute pictures of all of the animals that are here
Yes,
for
and
adoption.
we will be also posting about animals on our Facebook page. So if you have any questions, or if anybody is shopping online or looking at our Facebook page and you have questions, give us a call at 920-424-2128.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Cheryl, for letting us come in and make some new friends here at the
Right.
Humane
Well,
Society.
thank you for showcasing us. We really appreciate it.
Excellent. We will be right back with more on Oshkosh Today right after this.
This is a tree that was never chopped down to make a crutch that was never needed by a child who never got polio because a vaccine was never in short supply. Thanks to people whose compassion wasn't either. You can help Rotary end polio now. Learn how you can help at rotary.org/endpolio. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. When we see a roundabout, take it slow. Let me pick the correct lane and take it slow. When we see a car approach, we yield to the left. When we're in that roundabout, we don't pass anybody yet. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow.
Visit WisconsinRoundabouts.com for more info from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today. St. Patrick's Day is quickly approaching, and while many people will be celebrating by eating corned beef and cabbage and drinking green-colored beer, UW Oshkosh has come up with a more healthy way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So joining us now is Kelly Beisenstein-Weiss and Danielle Beauchamp from UW Oshkosh to tell us about the Shamrock Shuffle. Thanks for coming in today, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
So first off, do you want to just tell us a little bit about the Shamrock Shuffle? When did it get started?
Well, this is the 7th year that we've had this event, and we're very excited to say that it's grown every year. So the first year we started with a couple hundred, and just seeing increased numbers of participants every year. Last year in 2013 we had just over 1,800 participants sign up, so we're really excited about doing it again this year.
Excellent. And the Shamrock Shuffle, it's raising money. What exactly is the money going for?
This year we're very excited to be partnering with the Oshkosh Area United Way, and then also helping with multicultural initiatives on campus at UW Oshkosh.
Excellent. And this Shamrock Shuffle, it's put on by UW Oshkosh, but it's not only for students, is it?
No, not at all. This is a community-wide event. We have a lot of families that participate, and we get a lot of people from out of town. In fact, the first paper registration I received this year was from someone in Wausau. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what can we expect on the day of the Shamrock Shuffle? What's the route like?
You want to talk about it?
I've never run it. So
Danielle has.
Yeah, actually last year was my first year running it, and you start out at the UW Oshkosh Student Rec and Wellness Center, and then we go out onto Whittle Ave and we go over the bridge. We go over and head towards the Oshkosh Sports Complex area and eventually head through Titan Stadium. And actually over in Titan Stadium you can see yourself on a big projector type screen. And then we actually head back towards over the bridge again and back towards the Student Rec and Wellness Center.
Very cool.
You end where you began.
Nice touch with the the big screen to be able to see yourself. That I think
Yeah,
that would give you a little
sometimes. I
motivation.
don't know.
Either to get out of there by the time you're up there. But so is this? Do you have to run this 5K, or can you walk it? Can you bring a stroller? Or what can you do for that?
Anything you want. It's all for fun, so you can be competitive if you'd like, but it's basically about having fun. You can walk it, you can run it, jog, and strollers are more than welcome to.
Great. So how can I, if I want to do the Shamrock Shuffle, how can I sign up for it?
Couple different ways. You can do a paper registration or an online registration. The one thing I should just point out is that there's no difference in fee. Either way, we don't have an online registration fee. So it's really nice for participants. But the registration fees, you can find that on our website. You can just print it out, the paper one, or you could go to, from our website, you can click on there to get to the online registration. So paper ones just need to be sent in to us, and our address is printed on there, or you could bring it in and drop it off.
Excellent. And is there any kind of registration fee for that?
Yes. Now, this event is a little bit more unique. We have a couple different options for registration. There is the typical, I'm going to go do my 5K individual registration, and that is $15 up until March 10th. After that, it's $20, and that includes a short sleeve t-shirt. Or a lot of people, what most of our participants do for the Shamrock Shuffle is they register as a team. Okay. And it's just a group of 6 or more people. Some of them are families, some of them are friends, some are coworkers, combinations. Students put together a lot of teams and have a lot of fun. And that's $20, but that includes a long sleeve t-shirt with the team name on the back, which can be a lot of fun and very creative.
Yes. And I mean, just looking at some of the pictures that we've seen from last year and prior years, people really go all out as far as dressing up for St. Patrick's Day. You don't even have to wear the shirt that you get when you register.
No. There's a group of women that comes every year, and their costumes are more fun every year, and I just can't wait to see what they've got for this year.
Yes, and I that must just make it so much more exciting for everyone to see all the different costumes and everything. So are there any kind of prizes or anything for the first finishers or anything like that?
We do have prizes for the top 3 male and top 3 female finishers, and then we also do have a prize, a medal for the top finisher in each age group of each gender. So.
Okay. And as far as the day of the event goes, I mean, is there a certain place that people should go to park or to meet or anything?
Yeah. Anywhere on campus where it's a legal parking spot, non-reserved is fine. Parking on campus is free on the weekends, so not an issue at all.
Excellent. So as far as what else we can expect on that day of the event, I mean, when people are all getting together at the start of it, is there anything going on, or I mean, any kind of gunshot at the beginning or anything like that?
Well, I'm very excited this year. We've added, we're bringing in 95.9. KISS FM is going to be, they're one of our media sponsors, and so they're going to be there the day of, and they're going to be helping MC both before, during, and after the event, so they'll be there.
Perfect. Pump up the runners and walkers a little bit. So how can you find more information about that? Who can be contacted?
You could contact myself, and I think you had a slide with the website on, which is the best way, because my contact information is on there. Otherwise, you can send an email to shamrockshuffle@uwosh.edu.
Wonderful. And if you want to maybe just recap once more the date, time, and maybe the route of the race.
Sure. I'll do the date, time. You got the route.
Okay.
Saturday, March 15th. Day of registration starts at 9 a.m. The race actually doesn't start till 10 a.m.
Okay.
And it's at UW Oshkosh.
We're starting at the UW Oshkosh Student Rec and Wellness Center, going out and taking a right on Witzel Avenue and going over the bridge. Is it Witzel? Wisconsin, I'm sorry. Wisconsin. Then heading down Witzel towards the Oshkosh Sports Complex and through Titan Stadium. You'll see yourself on the big screen there. And then heading back down Witzel and over Wisconsin again.
Wonderful. Well, I hope the weather's nice, because I was looking at the pictures from last year. It was a little rainy, so but still looked like so much fun. So
crossing our fingers.
Yes. Well, thank you both so much for coming in and telling us about this exciting and fun event for St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So coming up next, another holiday that is even more rapidly approaching us is Valentine's Day. If you still haven't found that special something for your special someone, we had our visitors come in from the Winnebago Land Barber Shoppers and told us about a way to make Valentine's Day extra special.
is an intricate puzzle, and piece by piece, the women and men of Rotary have worked hard to fight hunger, promote literacy, and move the world toward peace. But there is still much to be done, still some missing pieces. And one of those missing pieces is you. Learn how you can help Rotary put together a better world at Rotary.org. Rotary, humanity in motion.
To be a Wisconsin winter warrior, you must do more than conquer the cold. You must have courage, teamwork, but above all else, a warm heart to be freezing for a reason. Join us for the Polar Plunge. Sign up today at SpecialOlympicsWisconsin.org.
Thanks again for joining us on Oshkosh today. And now I'm joined by Art Lose from the Winnebagoland Barbershoppers. Thanks for joining us today, Art.
Thank you for having us,
Stopping
Emily.
in the studio. Now, this is kind of a cool program. Not a lot of people are actually aware of it. Can you tell us a little bit about the Barbershop Singers?
Well, we are a chorus that meets every Tuesday night at Peace Lutheran Church, and we meet at 7 o'clock. We sing in the community for a number of events, and we look forward to this time of year to be singing Valentine's for our recipients.
Excellent. And what does the Valentine theme all include? I mean, we've got a great quartet that stops by and sings you a song. What else does it include?
Well, they will receive a beautiful card with the song Story of the Rose written on it, as well on the back side, and a silk rose, and then they'll have a digital photo also sent to them by email.
Great. And when did this fun tradition get started here?
Over 30 years ago, Jerry Berger, a member of our chapter, organized quartets to go out and sing for special folks, and he passed away in 2007. Roger LaPointe took over, and then now I am doing the organizing of this event.
Excellent. And now, what kind of reactions do you get to these people showing up and singing a Valentine song to someone?
Well, some of them are embarrassed, especially those around coworkers, but mostly they cry a little bit. They're very much touched by the sentiment, but we feel privileged to be the ones presenting for the sender a love song and a love story to the one that's special to them.
Such a unique and sweet way to send a Valentine. And what's the promotion, or how long does the promotion go on for? I mean, when can people start making reservations?
We've already started on January 14th. So we've been taking orders by phone and by email online, and that'll be done right up to the day, February 14th. We'll be taking them right up to that time and including that day.
And around how much is the price for that?
We start at $40.
Okay.
You can make reservations
yes.
by calling 426-0382 and or on the barbershopsingers.org. And there's a link there for singing Valentine, and click up on there and you'll have a contact information and how to get this all started.
And we have a quartet right here in the studio that's going to give us a little preview of what people can expect for Valentine's Day. If you want to go ahead and introduce them for us.
Thank you. Emily, we have with us the quartet Nap Time. We have singing tenor Lowell Peck, singing lead Roger LaPointe, singing bass Mike Grasidovic, and singing baritone Mark Kajabaski.
And what are they going to be singing today?
They'll be singing I'd Love to Let Me Call You Sweetheart.
Wonderful.
I am dreaming, dear, dreaming when the skies are blue, when they're gray, when the silvery moonlight gleams, still I wander on in dreams, in a land of love it seems, darling, just with you, only you. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. I'm in love with only you.
That was wonderful. So that's what we can look forward to if somebody makes a reservation for a Valentine, a singing Valentine.
Yes, thank you, Emily, for having us here today.
Yeah, definitely. And once more, actually, if you want to, recap the information here for us, where can people go to get a singing Valentine?
You can go online to barbershopsingers.org, or you can call this number, 426-0382.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for coming in today, Art.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Oshkosh Today right after this.
And that's the office.
Uh-huh.
Oh, those are my territories.
Uh-huh.
Think being a big brother means taking time out of your schedule to tutor a kid in algebra? Think again. To learn more about becoming a big brother or big sister, call 1-888-412-BIGS.
It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. So listen. The most basic human need is to understand and to be understood. But most people do not listen. They listen with the goal of responding. In the word listen are the same letters that make up the word silent. It is through silence that wisdom comes. Focus on others in order to better understand their points of view. Speak your piece and listen. Visit the OshkoshCivilityProject.org and sign the pledge.
We're back on Oshkosh Today, and now we're going to toss it right over to Ted Stefaniak for our dose of Focus on Health. This week, there's good news for patients suffering from foot and ankle pain. Aurora has a new procedure to help bring them relief. Let's take a look.
This Focus on Health segment is brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
Hello and welcome to Focus on Health. I'm Ted Stefaniak. Today we're at the Aurora Medical Center in Oshkosh. And if you've been dealing with foot and ankle problems, well, there's a new procedure now available to you. It's ankle replacement surgery. Today we're going to be meeting one of the newest surgeons at Aurora, also a podiatrist. It's Dr. Thurman Lanier. Well, thank you for joining us today. You know, I think a lot of people have heard about knee replacements, but I think ankle replacement, that's something new to people. Who would basically be a typical patient that would need an ankle replacement?
Sure. Well, the typical patient is generally over 50 years of age. They've had debilitating end-stage ankle arthritis and have tried conservative therapies. Also, they would have good bone stock to hold the implant in place. And they also wouldn't have had a major infection in the past 3 months. They would also have some sort of understanding about some of the activity modifications that they would need to have after getting the implant in their ankle.
I mean, is it similar in terms of a knee replacement? I mean, when I say most people know about knee replacements, you know, the pain that's associated with that, is that the type of patient that would actually have to have an ankle replaced?
Yes, it's very similar to an arthritic knee. The only difference is that most of the time arthritic knees come from what we call primary osteoarthritis, where it's just kind of wear and tear. But in the ankle, usually patients have some sort of traumatic incident that incites the arthritis. So the mechanics of it are very similar. It's just kind of how you get to the end stage of it, which is different.
Yeah, what's the benefit of having that ankle replaced?
Sure. So typically the standard of care now is an ankle fusion, and that takes away all of the motion at the ankle. But the ankle replacement will help the patient preserve the ankle motion and also get rid of the pain.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, there's a lot of bones in the foot and the ankle. I would imagine you're able to save the foot in most cases?
Yes, for the most part. And with an ankle fusion, you put a lot of stresses on those bones in the foot. But with an ankle replacement, you preserve that motion, and so the stresses that are going through the foot are less with an ankle replacement as with an ankle fusion.
Yeah, and I would imagine there's quite a bit of rehab involved in this. How long is the recovery period?
It is, yeah. So typically this procedure is performed in an inpatient basis. You generally stay in the hospital for 1 or 2 days, and then the patient begins range of motion exercises with their ankle, and then they're off of their feet for about 4 to 6 weeks, and this allows for the bone to ingrow into the ankle implant.
Yeah, and once the patient is healed, are there activity restrictions after an implant?
There are. The main activity restrictions are high impact activities, so things of nature like basketball or tennis, usually patients can't perform just because of the impact that it would have on the replacement. Most of the time they can do things like hiking or jogging or golfing, and patients usually enjoy these activities after the ankle replacement.
You talked about a fusion. Are these things typically, are they pretty common that you go from a fusion to a replacement?
Yeah. For the most part, is either or. Most surgery would perform the ankle replacement or the ankle fusion. In very rare instances, some patients have had an ankle fusion and they are not either fused in the right position or still have continued pain, and then we can take down that fusion and actually put in an ankle replacement instead.
Yeah, and how long does a replacement typically last then?
It lasts about 10 to 15 years. Every now and then we do have to go back in there and revise, maybe change the little spacer that's in between the implants. But for the most part, if the implant is seated correctly, the activities are stayed away from that we talk about with the patient, it's generally 10 to 15 years.
Yeah. Are there other treatments that are available to patients that are having ankle problems?
Sure. For the most part, you want to do conservative care first. So you want to try to change shoe gear or use ankle stabilizers. Also, cortisone injections and anti-inflammatory medications can be used. And other surgical routes are, like we talked about, an ankle fusion, and also arthroscopy to kind of clean out the joint as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's major surgery, and I would imagine a patient would probably go quite a while with pain before they actually decide to have an ankle replacement. And what should the process be for a person considering ankle replacement? Do they go to their primary care physician, or do they need to seek you immediately?
Yeah, first of all, they should go to their primary care physician because a lot of times they can just do ankle braces or anti-inflammatory medications, and the primary care physician can provide this. If that's not helping with their pain, then they should be referred to a podiatrist or an orthopedic surgeon who has experience with taking care of ankle arthritis. And at that point, we can decide whether more bracing or a scope or an ankle replacement would be the right thing for them.
All right, well, we know you're new to the area, and we wish you the best of luck, and thank you for taking some time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So if you're dealing with foot and ankle problems and you'd like to meet with Dr. Lanier, you can get a hold of him in Oshkosh at 303-8700. He's also seeing patients in Fond du Lac at the Aurora Health Center. You can reach him there at 907-7000. I'm Ted Stefaniak, and we'll see you next time on Focus on Health.
This Focus on Health segment has been brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today, and now we are back in the WOCT 101.9 FM studio here at Oshkosh Community Media Services. I'm joined by Andy Radig, Operations Specialist here at Oshkosh Community Media, and Walt Domney, the Chair for the Programming Committee for the Friends of OCM. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Now, there's a huge change here for WOCT, a big step that we've made technologically. Can you tell us what the big news is, Walt?
WOCT Radio is now available online at www.oshkoshcommunitymedia.org and also on the free app TuneIn for your mobile device.
So this means you can listen to WOCT from really anywhere as long as you have an internet connection or 3G on your mobile device.
Yeah, it really takes the limitations off of WOCT Radio. Anyone can listen to it anywhere at any time, and we're not limited to the city of Oshkosh anymore. So that's great news.
Right, and you can be anywhere in the world. Like you said, we just got an email from someone from London today that was listening to it. So it's really exciting.
Absolutely.
Now, Andy, what spurred the decision to go online? I mean, this is a huge step. For the past however many years, you've only been able to listen to 101.9 on your radio.
That's right. Well, working with the programming committee and with our city's IT department, we looked at some research showing that people are increasingly using mobile devices to listen to the radio. And the radio service that is over the air is still very important, but we also are trying to reach out to these different audiences that are out there using iPhones, iPads, whatever it might be. So we looked at what was involved in streaming, and so we are available on the website, oshkoshcommunitymedia.org, available there, but then also through a mobile device, TuneIn Radio, that you can download with the Apple iStore, and then also through Google Play. Mm-hmm. So, available however you'd like to access it.
And I see you brought in an example here to kind of show us how we can actually get onto these apps.
Right, yeah, this is an iPod Touch, and just on the TuneIn Radio app, search for local stations, and look in the listing, and 101.9 Oshkosh Community Radio is listed right there. And it'll load up and can listen away.
And all you have to do is go to the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play and search TuneIn. It doesn't even necessarily have to be on your phone. Like you have your iPod here, iPad, or any kind of tablet works just fine too.
Right, exactly.
So this isn't the only big change that has happened here at WOCT. We recently went through a format change. Walt, if you want to kind of tell us a little bit about that.
As of January 1st, we launched our new format. Monday through Friday, it is a mix of soft rock, pop, eclectic, jazz, blues, just a great selection of music. We've got a little of our old cocktail lounge in there.
Right.
Of course, we always still have on the weekends our music blocks.
Exactly.
We have our specialty programming during the week, the government meetings that we broadcast.
Right.
And as always, we're available to the nonprofits in the community for their PSAs.
And that's something that's really interesting about 101.9 is that it's still really local. You can listen to your live government meetings. The nonprofits have it available for them to get their word out through PSAs. That, and we even have local artists playing on our station as well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a lot of big steps and exciting changes here at WOCT. So thank you both for coming in and telling us a little bit about that.
Sure. Thanks for having us.
Of
course. Again, if you'd like to listen to 101.9 WOCT online, you can go to www.oshkoshcommunitymedia.org or go to Google Play or at the Apple iTunes Store and search for TuneIn to listen to that on your mobile device. All right, and it looks like that's going to do it for this special episode of Oshkosh Today. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you tune in to CATV2 for all of your community programming. Check us out at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org for replays of your favorite shows, or go to our YouTube channel and share them with your friends. Of course, you can also hear Oshkosh Today on other programs right here on the radio at 101.9 WOCT. Don't forget to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter for both city and programming updates. And finally, if you're a Pinterest fan, check out our board for the latest snapshots of the city. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can email me at emackowski@ci.oshkosh.wi.us. Thanks again for joining us for the 400th episode of Oshkosh Today, and we'll see you next time.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard. To find replay times for Oshkosh Today, to be a guest on the show or to watch online, visit our website at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org.